Daddy, never let me fall down because I'm looking on you. Daddy, you never let me fall down because I'm looking on you.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Why are you singing?
My
Why are you worried like this?
It's a long story. I want to go to church to pray whether God will give me a male child.
Male child? Is that the only problem you have?
That's my problem. That's my problem, my sister.
My dear, this is the problem you people have in these days.
Sister, if you have a way that you can show me, please. I want to go to church to pray. I've been going to church every day to pray. Whether God will give me male child. Please,
let me show you something.
Yes.
Did you see
This video?
Yes, short and simple. This is what you need to do. Only this. You have a male child.
You mean if I watch this video, I will have a male child?
Yes.
Section of this program. Welcome once again. Today we'll be discussing how to have sex and have a male child, understanding X and Y chromosome. Yes, I want us to know that it is God that determines the sex of a child. Actually, it is God that says amen to whatever gender we desire to have. But as human being, based on the knowledge that God has given to us, we can predict and we can work towards having a particular gender, and based on knowledge, God can accept it and say yes to it. So even as we'll be discussing, let us believe that all these things have been determined by God. However, we will not say we are ignorant of it. Yes, I want us to know that we have two types of chromosomes that are known as sex chromosomes. Yes, all other chromosomes are autosomes. Those ones, they are not related to sex or reproduction in human being. But the two kinds of chromosome that are sex chromosome or that are connected with reproduction are known as sex chromosome. And chromosome is different from hormones. Hormones are just chemical substances. Those ones are different. But chromosome now are those ones that are involved in reproduction that determines the gender of a child. Yes, we have X and Y chromosome. Yes, and for a child to be formed, we need two types of chromosome that will determine the formation of a child and the gender of a child. Yes, we have XX. When we have XX chromosome coming together, it will give us a female child. But when we have XY, it will give us a male child. So X chromosome determines a female child, Y chromosome determines a male child. However, a woman does not have Y chromosome. The chromosome that a woman has is XX. A woman has XX chromosome, while a man has XY chromosome, meaning that the gender of a child depends on the man. It depends on the man. So because the woman initially does not even have a Y chromosome that will make up a male child. So during copulation, during intercourse now, if it is the X chromosome from the man that was able to fertilize the egg of a woman, that means that the woman will conceive and that child will be a female child. But if it is Y chromosome that the man donates to the woman, that Y will mix with one of the X from the woman and the child will be a male child. However, both of these chromosomes, both the X and Y chromosome, they have different characteristics. They have different features that make them up, and they have different ways of swimming to meet the egg. So that is what we are looking into, and that is what makes it possible for us to be able to determine the sex of a child if truly we want to work towards it as a couple. So here I said a woman has X and X chromosome, which we have talked about that. Now let us look at the characteristics of X chromosome, which is the female chromosome. Don't let us forget that during ejaculation, equal amounts of both X and Y chromosome will be released into the body of the woman. Just that we have a lot of women than men. The percentage or the ratio of women to men is so much that In fact, population censor sometimes ago, we were told that it is 1:6, 1:7. We don't know how true that is. But even if we ourselves, if we look around, we see that we have more male than female. Yes, it is not that God is biased. God is not biased, because the semen that a man will release to the body of the woman is equal amount of X and Y chromosome that is there. However, these two chromosomes, they have different ability, and that is why we have a lot of women than men. For example, let us look at the X chromosome now. The X chromosome is larger and it is stronger. It's larger in size, it is stronger, and also it swims so slowly. It swims slowly, and it takes a longer time to die, and it is more stable than the Y chromosome. So X chromosome is bigger and it swims so slow. You know, when sperm cell is being released to the body of a woman, the sperm will have to swim and swim and swim and go to where the egg is. Once it gets fertilized now, the first one, millions of sperm cells are being released during each ejaculation, but it is just only one that will fertilize the egg. So the ones that move so faster to the extent of getting to the egg before all other ones will be the one to fertilize that egg. So it's very important for us to know this. So the X chromosome, we said, is bigger, it swims so slowly, and it dies so slowly, and it swims faster, is even more stable. Yes, it's stable in acidic pH. When the pH of the body of the woman is acidic, it is acidic medium that this X chromosome love the most. Yes. So then Y chromosome, which is the male chromosome, the chromosome that determines a male child, is known as the Y chromosome. Now let us look at the characteristics. The Y chromosome is small in size. It's small in size. It swims faster. It has a short lifespan, and it is more stable in alkaline medium. We can see the word and opposite. We can see the discrepancy between the two. Y chromosome, which is the chromosome we are interested in this afternoon, it swims so fast, so faster, it's tiny, it is stable in alkaline medium. Please, as you are joining me, help me and press like and love, and also help and share this program for other people to be able to learn from it. So, having seen the discrepancy, Miss Ebenezer Grace, thank you for joining me, ma. Having seen the discrepancy between the X and Y chromosome now let us look at the woman. We have said to ourselves that a woman does not have Y chromosome. The woman only has X chromosome, which is XX. It is one of the X that she will donate, plus either of the two that the man will donate, either X and Y, that will now fertilize and give us the gender of a child. Now, how can we now try to work towards having a male child? Having understand this, yes, for the woman to have a male child, you can trap your ovulation time. Look for the time, calculate your ovulation period, calculate your ovulation day. Don't let us forget that you cannot even get pregnant without ovulation. For a woman to get pregnant, that woman will ovulate. Ovulation means the release of egg from the ovary. When you release your egg, that is the time that you have ovulated. So, at the time of ovulation now, the vaginal fluid is alkaline. Is alkaline at that particular time. And don't forget that alkaline medium favors Y chromosome. It makes the Y chromosome to swim so faster in order to meet the egg before the X chromosome that swims so slowly. So for a male child to be formed, the Y chromosome has to get to the egg first. That is what forms all the male children that we are seeing around. But for a female child to be formed, the X chromosome from the man has to get to the egg before the Y chromosome. So there is no magic through it. That is what happens. Now, as a woman, you need to find out your ovulation time. Because at ovulation, the vaginal fluid is alkaline. And don't forget that Y chromosome is very stable in alkaline medium and swims faster in the medium. Now, as a woman, how do you now calculate your ovulation day for you to be able to trap the time that you have the chances to either get pregnant or have a male child? Your ovulation day is 14 days to your period. Let us assume that today is first. Today is not first actually, but just an assumption. Let us assume that today is first and you saw your period today. You will now say 1 plus 14. your ovulation day will now be on the 15th of the month, meaning that 14 days from the day of the blood stain, that is the day that you will ovulate. That is the day that your ovary, your body will release egg, waiting for sperm cell to fertilize it. So when you calculate your ovulation period, if as a woman you are not even so, maybe you are so busy that you really don't have time to find out your ovulation date or to calculate it, there are other signs that a woman will know that truly she's now menstruating. For example, there is always a whitish discharge. We call it cervical mucus. It's like a whitish discharge from the vagina. You'll be able to see that is a sign of ovulation. Then there is increase in temperature. Miss Ojewande Deborah Depeju, thank you for joining me, ma. You understand? You will see there is increase in temperature. Then there is increased sex urge. There is increased sex urge. Then there is weakness. If as a woman you are not that sensitive enough, maybe you are so busy, people who are so busy, they might not be able to notice all this from their body, but it do happen. Once a woman is ovulating, there is always increase in sex urge. For singles who are not ready to go into sex, they want to keep themselves for the Lord, at that particular time you are vulnerable. You have to keep yourself away from man, because at the time that you are ovulating as a single, you have the tendency to easily fall, because you just release egg and your body will desire to have sex at that particular time, because you are in your heat period, your ovulation period. Then another sign of ovulation is increase in temperature. Then there is always discharge of egg white material. We call it mucus from the body.